Hi, I'm Catherine
And I'm Lynn, and we are a coffee break.
with Cat and Mom. Welcome back to our podcast. This is episode 7. Get cozy with us. As you can see, the setting's different. We're in bed because today is going to be story time. So we are going to be talking about our trip to London, and that's a pretty long story.
Yeah.
So sit back, relax with your coffee, and get cozy because we are going to be talking about all the details of our London trip back in July, right?
June. Back in June.
I always say July. Every podcast episode, we begin with a coffee review. We go and try a new coffee shop, and then we come back and review it. Today, we don't have the coffee with us. We already went and tried it yesterday.
Yes.
Right? It was yesterday.
Yeah.
And we went to Paris Baguette down in Delray Beach, Florida. And
it was fabulous. We'll have some pictures for you guys that are watching it.
Yep.
You'll see all the pastries. Oh my gosh, there are so many that you choose by yourself, and I think I don't even know how long that display was.
There's every pastry you could think of. It was insane.
And sandwiches and quiche.
The cakes.
The cakes. Oh my gosh, the cakes. All kinds of coffees and teas, and it is just this cute little beautiful setting, and they reheat everything for you. And even outside was very cute and whatnot, but it was kind of windy, so we sat inside. But it was just...
And it's very beautiful on the inside, so...
Yeah, I mean, we did order maybe two many
I think we ordered 6 or 7 things. I ate everything. I loved it. I love going there.
I had a bite of everything, too. Even the croissant for Amelia after her swim practice.
Oh, yeah. I have gone there before, and my friend Kennedy actually lives right by the coffee shop, so... After, the next morning, I'll go on my own before I drive back home and just go there for a coffee and a little pastry. So
oh my gosh,
I loved it. And, if you guys are watching the video podcast version, I'm going to put up some videos of it so you guys can see what it looks like since we don't have it here in person. And we do have our mugs, though.
Oh, yeah.
If you've seen from our past episodes, we have our little... a coffee break mugs with our logo on it.
Yes.
And then we have some coffee, live tea. But yeah.
So yeah, it's I highly recommend if you want to eat breakfast, lunch. I don't think they're open for dinner. I think they close in the middle of the afternoon or late afternoon.
Sure.
But you just can have, your breakfast or your lunch ready there. It's just really excellent. So,
and then we also always do our weekend review. So just what has been going on for us in the past week. Episode 6 just dropped for us today. So if you haven't listened to that, be sure to check that out.
It's a fun one.
Yeah. But this week, nothing really crazy.
No, I guess there was nothing really review, in review. However, we had just gone the previous week on a 4.5-day trip back to Iowa. So this week was just to, get
back into the routine.
The routine and, working out and whatnot, extremely sore, I will say. But the weather here is still beautiful, just a little bit more chilly in the morning. So it's great for cardio outside. So that was,
the walks are nice. Yeah. Today was, a little bit cooler.
Yeah. I mean, we're not complaining. It's still warmer.
Oh, yeah.
But we did go try to see, all the holiday markets are coming to, starting to open and whatnot. So we tried to do one yesterday. It was
turned out it was for older people, and we didn't really realize that. So we went in to E.R. Bradley's to grab some drinks and
Beach,
some food. And I love Clematis Street, so it was great.
Oh, huge market there too on Saturday. So we'll try that one maybe next week.
And then we'll let you guys know how that went. But we're gonna dive right into the topic.
So how it all started is our trip to London. So my oldest one. Catherine's oldest sister, Isabella, because she graduated now, was a senior at Jacksonville University on the rowing team. For 3 years in a row, they actually won their conference and did go to the NCAAs. And they had the opportunity last year. Well, they still this year, but last season, if you want to.
It was
in June. They found out earlier in the year that they were selected to go and attend the Women's Royal Henley in in England.
Yep.
So on Henley on Thames, which is the highest, that one and the Royal Henley, the highest regarded
regatta. Yeah,
regatta there is in the sport.
Beautiful.
So we decided to, well, if she had the opportunity to go, and they all helped each other. I mean, they did some fundraising.
Yeah, they had to do a big fundraiser because there's going to be a lot of money to send all those girls over to London, obviously.
Oh, it was a big amount.
Yeah.
And so we decided to go. So my mom, my niece, Catherine, myself, and my youngest one, Amelia, went and saw, their sister, my daughter, to row over there. So the trip planning started, seriously started February, March.
Very early. I was already, looking for outfits and stuff because, I don't know, I think that in London, just in Europe in general, they dress very sophisticated and classy, so I wanted to make sure I was properly dressed.
Well, my niece, Cheyenne, shout out to Cheyenne here in Montreal. She planned everything. It was amazing. We already had our train
tickets in advance.
I mean, everything was just planned, but she made us and I should have printed it out just to show you guys. It was hilarious.
The travel itinerary.
Yeah, the travel itinerary of every day, what we're doing, and then weather. What the heck we were supposed to be wearing.
She looked at the weather on that day.
Ahead of time, so you weren't really sure, but it was just it's London. So I'm going to say a couple bad words. It was just it's whatever what we were doing London. That day. It's London, bitches, dress appropriately, and this and this. So everywhere was more, let's say more casual today. We're going to walk a lot or whatever because we walked a lot. This is the thing that you eat a lot, but you don't gain weight because you're walking everywhere.
Over 20K steps.
Oh, big time. Especially for the race. Yeah. Because we walked from our flat that we had rented, and then we walked all the way
to the course.
To the course.
And then you have to walk all the way back, and then all the way back.
So I had purchased, since it was our first time there, and possibly the last one time, I hope not, but so I had purchased a ticket to go into the enclosure. So it's the something enclosure is coming back up to me, but so we were able to, first you had bathrooms, so that was the first thing, but we had access to.
It was a clubhouse kind of.
It is a clubhouse. Yeah. So we had chairman's enclosure. I knew it was going to come back. So we had access to the bar there. So they had pastries for the breakfast, the tea. Of course, they had tea all day.
They had pictures of the Aperol spritz.
Yeah, anything you wanted to drink, they had it all. And then we also did a tea, a real tea party in the afternoon of the second day of the race. That was something else. That was really.
They had a tower of it's tea and crumpets, the little mini sandwiches, little pastries and
macaroons
sweets and stuff like that. And it was tea.
Of course, we had champagne. No, we had wine.
We had champagne. There are people who, their families don't even row, but they were there just to do tea time.
Yes, well,
it was
rowing is the number one sport there, right? So this is their yearly event, the Women's Royal Henley, and then the course is just a little bit shorter than the Royal Henley, which is a week and a half later. And we saw the whole setup for this. So then you see exactly.
They were just now setting it up.
Yeah, when we were walking. You're walking and it's the end of the course. So you're walking towards, the beginning. So you could see what they were setting up. And it's this is a top-notch, very high class and highly regarded sport, right? So it's not you don't come in there with sweatpants and sweatshirt. No, everybody's dressed. They have jackets. Some women's have the hat on and the whole thing. So it was such a good. It was a fun experience for us. I mean, we had all of our outfits for sure for the races. What was awesome for the team is, and then all the teams had their school colors. There was how many? Six. There were 6 schools from the United States. I don't
even think there were that many. Wait, was there?
I don't know.
I think 6.
Maybe 6 max. Everything else, every other team is obviously from Europe, right? And not that they don't like us, but let's just say that they don't really care that Americans are doing their sport. No, so it was really fun to see all the teams with all their jackets, handmade for them. Everything was made per measure, but with their team color, and then they all matched. And so you could walk on Henley on Thames, which is a beautiful little countryside kind of town. It was gorgeous, and then you could see all. Some teams, walking or teammates walking to go to a cafe or whatever. I thought that was so great. You don't see this here.
Yeah, no, Henley on Thames is a very small town too. So I feel you saw so many rowers everywhere you went. It was rowing town. for that weekend. Yeah. And I'm sure the Royal Regatta was also like
it was probably even
a million times that. But yeah, you'd walk into restaurants and you'd see other rowing teams there and other rowing families, so that was cool. And then I also just really liked Henley on Thames. Just it felt like a movie scene, like a set of a movie, because it was like a little toy town kind of, and everybody was dressed exactly how you would picture a small little British town. People would dress very nice dresses. There was the guys with the like a whole suit with the
that morning.
What is it called?
Oh yeah, it was it was for a wedding. So it was like the why can I not think about it right now? But it was a tuxedo, long tail tuxedo with their hat,
top hat.
The top hat, and they were running because we were right by
to catch the train
station.
I was like, this is a movie set. This is not real.
We were walking out of our flat and we're like, is this for real? Is there like cameras filming? It was just the most hilarious thing. Yeah, tuxedo and the whole. I mean, it was gorgeous. It was beautiful. And then we just saw, even coming in and out of the train when we went to London, like women with their hats on, and nobody, like, you would do this here in the United States. Everybody would pass them. What the hell is she wearing a hat on?
All dressed up.
And nobody cared or whatever, depending on where they were going, which, I don't know, festivities or whatever, like social gathering they were going to. We did do a little boat ride on the Thames. So we could see the whole course, which was really cool. And on the way back, we saw this huge reception, found out later that it was a wedding. No, it was a 50th. We thought it was a wedding. It was a 50th birthday party.
Yep.
And kind of small world is
it looked like the wedding, and it was a 50th
it was like
party.
People were coming in in beautiful cars and limousine. It was unbelievable. It was just, we could all see this from the Thames. It was just like, it was pretty cool. But
and then also on that boat ride, we saw this massive country club, which it was crazy. That also looked more like a movie set because they were playing what's the thing where you hit the ball through like the little
croquet.
They're all playing that out in the field while like the women were standing there in their nice dresses, and it was crazy. I was like, this is real life. But also, before I went to London, I never even drank tea. I was not a tea person, but they drink tea all the time. All the time. And now I drink tea. Like, I got a tea right there, which is crazy. And the chamomile teas,
they had the best chamomile tea.
So good. We cannot find it.
No, it was. If somebody knows how and where we should order those, it was the best.
Yeah. So after that, like, little tangent, you got a kind of an overview there of London, but we're gonna start at the very beginning, and that is we already know, like, Cheyenne came up with this whole itinerary, this whole plan, like what to wear. So now we're all packed and we're ready to go, and we're super excited. And then we get to the airport, and
we met at the airport.
They flew in from Montreal. And we were scared that they weren't going to make it because their flight got delayed multiple hours. And then I have a huge fear of planes, but for some reason, I was not scared at all because we were going to London. I was extremely excited. And the flight was amazing.
Except like we sat down. So Catherine was like on the aisle right here, and I was on the other aisle, and Amelia was in the middle, and there was another gentleman. And we are just lining in our seat. Mm-hmm. We have not even like buckled up or anything. And the lady in front of Amelia turns around and like gives me like bad looks and whatnot. And I don't even know what's going on. We just sat in, right? So, and then she turns around, and I eventually just, as the flight attendant walks by us, she gets up and starts yelling at her, saying like, "Are you done kicking?"
To my little sister, not me.
She hasn't moved yet. Like, I'm trying to set her up, and well, I don't know if the flight attendant saw what happened, but she was not going to have it, and she told Karen over there to sit back down and relax. And we're like, thank you. I mean, can we just at least put our like bags underneath and whatnot? And so it's just like she was opening the little table. Yeah. And apparently that pushed her.
But it's like, we're not in first class. All right. Yeah. We're going to be feeling when people are like adjusting behind us. It's fine. Yeah. Like, you can pay a couple $1,000 more to go sit up front.
But like, the things that I could see her, and that was kind of funny because we filmed it. I could see her. She was texting a friend.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this. You sent the screenshot to me.
Yeah, and so I kind of screenshot because it's too funny, like kind of bitching about my daughter and saying that I thought my daughter was the
the most perfect
little girl prissy
ever.
princess that she never does anything wrong, and I was like, oh my gosh, she doesn't know me whatsoever. And
like, all because my little sister was moving the table up and down. But besides that, it was a great flight.
It was great.
I've never had a meal on a plane, and we actually have our vlog on YouTube.
Yes.
And it shows like the food that we got, and it was so good. We had a choice between pasta and chicken, right?
Yeah, or vegetarian. We had to say that earlier.
And the pasta was very good. The bread was a little bit like hard.
It was cold. It was cold.
It was cold. That's what it was.
Cold and hard, and if the butter was super hot, super cold. So if you put like the butter, like that's what I did underneath my plate of food. Did I have the pasta?
Yeah, you had the pasta.
Yeah,
so that the butter would heat up underneath the pasta, and then you put it on the bread. But
oh wait, there's a salad.
Yeah, I thought it was so cool, like being served a meal on a plane. It was so cool. Yeah, and then we got like a second little meal. I was not expecting a second little meal. It was like
sort of breakfast.
Kind of like a breakfast right before you land, and
that's because of the time change. So they're trying to get you
right on set. But you're supposed to stay up the whole flight back and sleep on the way back, correct?
No, they wanted you to sleep.
Oh, you sleep there and you stay awake back. That's what it is.
You can still sleep. Because we left at late in the afternoon, so it was okay for us to sleep on the way back. But you were supposed to sleep at that time. But all the entertainment on the plane and stuff, it was great. We flew,
I watched Dune 1 and 2.
Yeah, British Airways with American Airlines. So it was,
they were amazing.
Yeah, especially on the way back. I don't know why. I don't know if our seats were better or whatnot, but we had a very good flight attendant on the way back because we were not supposed to get champagne.
Yeah, and he gave us
the bottle was right there, and I said, "Well, so we can get champagne." He's like,
"Said you saw it."
Said you saw that, right? And I said, "Yes, I did." He's like, "Well, it was supposed to be just for business class." He's like, "Well, you saw it." So he gave me some, and she's like, "Well, I saw it too."
Yeah, so he gave me some as well. That was awesome. But once we got off the plane, my cousin had the Airbnb set up for Henley on Thames and London.
In London, yeah.
But we weren't able to get into our Airbnb once we got to Henley. So after taking the train, we had to take all our suitcases and luggage to this like little restaurant,
which was amazing.
Right off which was right off of the train station.
Well, it wasn't like the beginning of the little village.
Yeah.
And it's where we actually got that's where you went on the boat for the boat rides, but it's beautiful. From outside, you're just like, where am I getting at? You know, where it's going on. And then it's gorgeous inside and a lot of rowing families, even people from the United States from our team that was there. And little did we know that was the street of our Airbnb. Yeah.
So it worked out great. But like walking in to this little tiny doorway with all our massive luggages and having to we had to ask if we could line it up along the wall.
And I think they're used to this. It's just like when
it's right on the train station.
Yeah, when you see movies that everybody walks with their luggage, you don't really see this here, but over there, it's just like it was
everywhere.
Normal. Yeah, like every day we're like, oh, like so we didn't look ridiculous.
No, everybody's running around with their luggage.
Just that Cheyenne suitcase was like an extra overlarge something.
Oh my gosh, I think it was like 200 pounds.
The extra wardrobe was in, like the whole wardrobe was in there from home. It was so funny, and that was something else to maneuver in the little streets. But
yeah, that little restaurant that we went to, and then we went to again, I think multiple times, twice, right?
Well, we went again before we
the boat. But they have the best espresso martinis ever. They were the best things I've ever had.
Yeah, so a
little side note there.
Yeah,
because wow, like the foam to the espresso ratio was great. But so then after that we got to our room, and that's where the regatta took place. So we spent how many days? 3 days there?
We had 3 nights. Yes.
Oh yeah, and another side note, they actually do not serve iced water at these restaurants.
Oh yeah, I know.
You actually had to serve your own water, and there's no ice. You have to ask for ice, and you get little pinchers with the ice. It feels so
but I'm just like everybody
when you go to put your own ice cubes.
Cold ice, people. Cold water.
That was something so weird. And then air conditioning.
No, we didn't have air conditioning. And then what happened in June and beginning of July in England of 2024 this year, it was a heat wave. They were not used to this, and of course we're there during the heat wave.
Oh yeah.
And because usually it rains all the time at that time, we were extremely lucky. I think we got a little bit of sprinkle the second day of the race, and that's it. And it rained a lot for the Royal Henley the week later. But so we were very lucky, but it was really hot. And what I'm saying, really hot in no air conditioning. On the first flat though, my mom she had
some air conditioning, right?
No,
Oh,
she
no.
didn't. No, she had a fan there, but
Oh.
it's okay because she's usually cold. But
Yeah.
our rooms were what's considered a
Downstairs.
basement, kind of. So we were completely fine. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
perfect. At night, it was fine, but oh my gosh, during the day, like it was
It's
just
terrible. You had to be like
was-
fanning yourself
yes.
with like papers and magazines and stuff because it was
because
so
at the rest, I
hot.
mean, yeah,
But I would say we got very lucky with our Airbnbs.
it was
They're
beautiful.
beautiful.
And it was beautiful, especially the one in
So
London.
cute.
Little did we expect that we needed an elevator to get to our
flat,
and it opened up
to the flat.
Yeah, and it was our
and there's
place.
a balcony.
That was a huge balcony,
Yeah.
overlooking
So
like the little street.
What was that street that we were on?
I can't remember.
Because it's a popular street name.
It was part of the royal area too.
Yeah.
So it will come back to me, but so yeah, it was absolutely amazing. We were right by the castle.
Oh yeah.
So
we are near everything, I'd say. It's just
walked.
like the traffic is what
London
causes
compared to
so long.
Henley. Yeah.
People drive insane.
But I will say the taxi cabs in England
Mm-hmm.
are amazing
We can
compared to
fit
the
all
crap
our
we have here.
suitcases, yeah.
I mean, it's
Like it's insane. You can one seat, and then on the other side, like 3 more seats. And
yeah,
then
you can fit 5
you
easy.
can fit all your suitcases in there.
Or some of them have the little ramp for wheelchairs,
Mhm.
and then you can also sit in front. I mean, it was just
You can fit a suitcase in the front seat too,
Yeah.
by the driver's seat.
it was. And the guy with there's like, I can fit all this. We're like, okay.
It's crazy.
And it's like the old kind of style of cars. And you think like, oh my gosh, it's going to be raggedy inside. It's
No, they're all
amazing.
clean.
You don't even really touch a seat. I mean, there's a window, but
Yeah.
you pay all by cards in the cab. I mean, that was special. But to go back to this flat that we had there, we all had our own rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Isabella at that point was back home with her team, was back to Jacksonville. And then it was kind of funny because we had the air conditioning in every room.
Oh yeah.
Every single bedroom and the big living room,
So-
kitchen and everything.
Like,
We're like,
I
this
could
is amazing.
choose what I wanted my room at.
Yeah.
And then the one in Henley, we didn't have any, but that's okay. Like we were
in the
barely really in
basement.
the room because during the day because we were always watching the rowing.
Yeah.
And shout out to JU because they got to race again against a team in where are they from?
Somewhere in England.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Europe. I can't remember. But
Yeah, they went against it. Were they Swedish?
I can't remember, but they made
Yeah.
friends forever now because we all
Mhm.
went out in this same kind of bar restaurant.
It's a speakeasy.
Oh no, that's afterwards.
Oh,
but
yeah,
when
we
we
went to
met
the-
them all,
It's called
all
the Catherine's
outside.
Wheel. I remember because it's my name. But it's
Okay.
called the Catherine's Wheel, and I guess that's like the hangout spot for Henley because there's a lot of people
Teams from
of every
all
ages
over
too
the place. Yeah.
that are from Henley, and they all hung out there and all having a drink, and it's a huge outdoor space. And then I remember one of the rowers' moms got up and started singing the national anthem.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It was so funny.
She was the coxswain's mom, and then the security came and she actually sang the whole thing. And a bunch of people were singing it too, but came and she was so short, so funny. And then they helped her because she was standing on one of the benches.
Yeah,
And then they said, "You can't do this here. You can't
sing out loud."
I thought she's like, oh, and then she knew she was in trouble. She's like, oh, was I off key? And everybody started laughing.
I don't think
didn't expect that.
I don't think the security guard or anybody really found it funny unless they were actually like an American team.
Yeah,
all of us were singing along with her and stuff.
And we laughed at her comment, and then they kind of let her go and whatnot. But then, we did go across to a little, I don't know if it's called a nightclub speakeasy.
No, it was
both.
It's kind of because you don't know it's there. It's like a little cute bar with like the red velvet seats, and then you go through this door, and
there's
it's
a DJ.
And it's like a literal like tiny little nightclub.
Yes,
it was so
parents were there, rowers were there. Again,
my cousin got bottle service.
Yeah, well, it was for our birthdays because it happened to be that it was also June, which is my birthday, her birthday, and my oldest one's birthday. So it was, and being there, and she had just graduated. So it was like also like this whole trip was also
celebration,
birthday gift, and for everybody to once in a lifetime kind of thing. But what we really loved also about Henley and I mean London as well, but I will say even more so Henley is the speed of their life. It's so much. I don't want to say slower, but it's so much more
calm, less stress.
Yes.
I'm sure there's still stress, but like the Starbucks isn't open till what was it, 8 a.m.?
Oh, yeah, it was something like that.
Starbucks
Because
isn't open.
we had to go early the next day for the second race, and there's no way we were going to Starbucks while we are there. We were doing all little, coffee
the
shops and
cafes
restaurants and cafes and whatnot. But we went into this cafe corner and we looked and we're like, what's going on there? Is it a new Starbucks? Why isn't it open? And the lady said, we're the first one opens here at 7 a.m.
Yeah, because we were looking and it would say like closed, not open, not open, not open. We're like, what the heck? Why is there no coffee places open? And I guess like this coffee shop had just opened, and like earlier than all the other ones.
Or maybe 7.
I think it was 7:30.
7:30 we were there or something, yeah.
But it's just wild because our Starbucks opens at, I think it's like the workers get there at 4:30 to open.
Yeah. And so she was asking her, she's like, well, what do you mean? Why is it we're the first ones open? I'm like, no, Starbucks they open at 6 or something.
Or 5,
like that.
I think it's 5:30.
I don't know. And she's like, what? But I remember my mom saying this because at that time there were, and it was a Saturday morning, I think at that point, but so they were maybe like an older kind of crowd, if you want to, like my mom's age. And everybody was just sitting there chit-chatting with each other, enjoying their morning with like, I don't know, a croissant or something and their coffee. And even from my mom to passing a comment, she's like, look at that. Like they're just relaxed and just enjoying themselves and whatnot.
It just seemed like America's such a hustle culture, and it's like wake up early, go to work right away, work all day, come back, do it all over again. Well, they just seem to go with the flow and just take it slow.
And the food, I mean, it's
that's just what I observed.
Well, big time. And just to say about the food, and we say this like every time we go out of the country, actually, it's the processed food here in the United States is kind of terrible, obviously.
It's so bad.
You just, everything within a week there, like, even our skin was better.
My skin cleared up right when I got there.
The food was good.
My stomach, I didn't have really any stomach problems. And
every single restaurant we went to
was amazing too.
It was, unbelievable. And we went twice to the same restaurant because that was the last night for the team to be there. And that's where they had the little reception. That was something special as well. So that was,
But we actually have our biggest story, I think, from London.
That was sad.
Because, it's actually very sad. But it was right before we went to that restaurant for the second time, which I don't even remember what it was called.
Okay. So that Sunday, which was the last day for the team to be there, they were flying out Monday morning. We were able to kind of organize something for Isabella, my oldest one, because it was her birthday. We all wanted, it was a whole family decision to go, but we had seen advertisement and stuff to go see Mamma Mia.
The party.
The party.
Yeah. Remember the
Now
party.
we know the party is very important.
Very important.
At the end.
So Bella is a huge Mamma Mia fan. I mean, we all are, but she is like the biggest fan of Mamma Mia. So we had to do this. If we're going to go to London, we got to go to Mamma Mia the party. And
mind you, we all had outfits for this. When it was ready.
Yes. I had a sparkly top with a white skirt and starfish to put in my hair. Seashell earrings, seashell necklace.
We all had
seashell bracelet. Yeah. I got hair clips that were like seashells and starfish for them.
All of us, yeah.
And Cheyenne, my cousin, got everything ready. She got us. So there's tiers at Mamma Mia the party, and there's tier A, B, and C. And A is like front row, like you're eating, like you get served like a 3-course meal.
Yep.
And you're eating while the show is going on. And so we are tier A.
We had like gift bags.
Yeah, gift bags.
We had like things like that ready for us. And
like we were about to get so spoiled at Mamma Mia the party.
So it's early morning because it's in London and we're still in Henley, right? So Isabella leaves her flat with her boat where they all stayed, walks to ours, brings all of her stuff, and our place was closer to the restaurant afterwards, right? So we knew we would be in a hurry. So she brought all of her clothes to change for that reception with her jacket and whatnot. We get on the train, and then we get to London.
Yeah, so we're at Paddington Station. Paddington Station is huge, by the way. Side note. It's insane.
It's central, yeah. It's essential.
So cool to see. But we get out, and you're now in London, and we put in the maps, Mamma Mia. And I click the closest one, because I'm assuming my cousin booked the train for Paddington for that time because we were going to be close, and we just assumed it was going to be walking distance. So we start walking, and we're all like a little bit stressed out because we're going to be running a bit late. And we get to...
And my mom is walking with us.
Yes.
And bless her heart. She was
trying to catch up.
A little bit.
We were speed walking. We were all just stressing. And I see on my phone that, like, we're right here. And I look up and it says Mamma Mia. And I'm like, oh, that looks kind of, like, small.
It was a restaurant. It was a pizzeria.
It's a pizzeria.
A
pizzeria. Yeah. So I look up, it's Mamma Mia, the pizzeria. And I was like, holy crap. Like, there's just no way. And
at this point, Isabella was getting mad. And so they were there a couple of days before we got there, right? They were actually in Amsterdam for a week too to acclimate. And so she knew how the subway worked. So she's like, we got to go to the subway. So now you guys looked it up. And then we're like, we need to be in the theater district, right? Because that's where
Mamma Mia
is playing. So we get down there. I mean, and of course, my mom is on a roll. And we
had to go down like 500 spiral staircases.
It was ridiculous. Now we know we're going to be at least 20 minutes late to the start, but we're going to make it. They're going to let us in. We get out, we walk, and we see the theater, right? We see it's right there.
We see like the big Mamma Mia sign, and we're like going past this hill, and I just like, I don't know, when your intuition just kicks in, I'm like, I swear to God, if it's the wrong place again. So we get to this massive like theater building with Mamma Mia all over the walls, and there's no door handles to get in. So we're like trying to like grasp onto like the wood to like see if it'll open.
You guys walked around.
And we're trying everything, and then we're like banging on the doors at this point. So imagine like just somebody walking in London, and you look over in the theater district and see a family banging on the doors.
There were the other theater next to it, because it was the theater part of London. They were playing Frozen, so we saw a bunch of little kids dressed up as Elsa,
and I was like, "What the heck is going on?
Why are they? What's going on? Why is our doors not open, but their doors open?" So at this point, Isabella's crying. We're all kind of like stressed out, and then so my niece stops a cab. And she said, "Where is this?" And it's not even on our tickets. No, I mean, it was not really even.
We tried I looked up the number, and I tried calling the place, and it would just go straight to voicemail, or it wouldn't ring or anything. And so we all tried multiple numbers. It wouldn't work.
The tickets didn't really tell you where it was, but and then the cab did not want to help us because he said that would take 45 minutes to get there. Now we're like, oh my gosh, we're missing a whole hour.
I looked up Mamma Mia, and I saw Mamma Mia the party. I'm like, that's the third location. That's the one we're supposed to be at right now.
We had to say the party. Yeah. Because she thought we could walk leaving Paddington Central, which we couldn't. So we should have left like at least another half hour earlier, get there in a half hour, and then get the cab. And so she kind of blurred out how much that had cost her. And we were just kind of like, everybody was just in distress. I mean, we were just.
And we didn't know that she had this like old plan, like
we didn't know anything.
Seats, the gifts, like we didn't know this. And I was like, if we get a cab right now, we are already 30 minutes late. We're going to be another 45 minutes late. I'm sure this is like a 2-hour long show. Like
we're not missing everything. Yeah. And who wants to walk in and go all the way there? So we ended up.
Bad. Amelia was crying. Bella was like just pissed off because we were so excited. Yeah. But
I'm still, my heart still hurts
for my cousin too. She planned, like, shout out to Cheyenne if you're listening to this, because she put so much planning into it to like do a little surprise for us, and it was just terrible. But I looked at my maps to see what was around, because we're in London. Like, unfortunately, we can't get the money back at the moment, and we can't get there. So like, let's try to find something to do in the area. And there was Covent Gardens. Okay. And I remember walking past this restaurant, and it looked super nice. And it was like a dark marble on the outside. And it was a German restaurant. Yeah. And we walk in, and it's extremely like fancy. Yeah. I'd say. It was
we were all very well dressed. Yes. So we kind of did fit.
So it worked out. But I had like seashells everywhere. So I was there probably like she like must have the ocean or something. But which is perfect, because now we live in Florida, so I can wear those seashell jewelry. But we get there, and little did we know, this is a 5-star restaurant.
It's a Michelin restaurant.
Yeah, Michelin 5-star restaurant.
Like, oh, shit.
Yeah. But at first, like, when we sat down, obviously the tension was high. We all were like, shoot, like, this just
nobody was talking.
Did not go the right way.
Everybody was stressed out.
And
we lost Isabella in the bathroom for like, 15 minutes. She didn't come out. She was so pissed.
But I was like, let's just make the most of it. Let's have fun. I mean, I'm not the one that lost all that money, but
No,
let's try to have fun.
We have to make the best of
Yes.
it right now. So we all tried new food. It was great.
Yeah.
And then it ended up that we're about to leave, and I don't know what I was saying, but Cheyenne wanted to, I said something funny. I can't remember what it was. And she was taking a sip of wine.
Red wine.
And she couldn't swallow it at that point. She was laughing so hard. So she just kind of
spit all the red wine
on
the white tablecloth
at a 5-star Michelin restaurant.
And we were like, thank God we were leaving. And I like took the white napkins and covered it up. And I was like, all right, let's go.
No, our waiter's like, are you guys okay? Is she okay? Oh, she's totally okay. We can't take her out anywhere.
Yeah.
But then we ended up walking in at the
Covent Gardens.
And it was beautiful.
It's so cool. We got some like little London souvenirs, and there was a group of people playing the violin. So that was cool to see. And then we ended up, my cousin ended up spoiling us with Chanel sunglasses.
Yes. Oh my God.
That was so, I was like, we just got screwed out of Mamma Mia the party. And
it was all her money, and we felt so bad. But she felt bad because it was supposed to be our gift for her birthday. I was like, what are you talking about? This was, anyway.
Really, like, appreciate her because we were able to come back from that.
We did not know. It was, but then we have our ticket back, right? Because we know we have to be back at this certain time.
Because it's the last dinner with all the rowing families at this restaurant.
Yeah.
So now we have to rush back.
We get back, and we're not sure why we can't get in.
There's like a crowd of people in Paddington Station. And we're like, why aren't we moving? Like, why is it train number 4 coming? Like, where is it at?
On that track. And so little did we know, though, actually, when we left originally from the airport to go to Henley, we had a lot of stops, right? And when we did the other trips, it was like really quickly. And we didn't know why. Well, that was the fast one that they don't stop at so many stations.
Train, yeah.
And
they go straight to kind of like where you want to go.
So then Cheyenne went and asked, like, what's going on? Right. And we see on the big panel, it says,
somebody's on the tracks or something, and the train can't move. And we're like, what does that mean? Like, somebody's on the tracks?
So they canceled the train, and then we're like, oh no.
Yeah, and they said, what, another 60 minutes, another hour?
Yeah, and then we didn't even have 90 minutes to get to the restaurant.
Oh yeah, we were like, oh no, and we tried not to like tell Bella, we're not figure this out like the best we could. And apparently, like, there's a slower train that does more stops.
The one that we did originally,
a bit further away, or like just around the corner, right?
I mean, we had to go down and whatnot, and that's when my mom's arm got stuck in the thing that flips because you have to pay. You have to put your credit card to get in and out.
But only one
person per card.
Twice. Yeah, one person per card.
But like they didn't have their cards, like I had the credit card for my family and my mom, and so. She squeezed in with my niece, and then she has very thin skin, and she's got like a whole thing scraped on her arm. It was
so bad.
It was so bad. And
I don't want to put it in detail because if you're like me and you get queasy.
It was so bad. And we got into that train, we sat down, and then it's actually Bella.
Yeah.
That in her, and she was stressed out because she's like, that's it. I'm not making it to my own, final dinner. And she's the one that took care of my mom. We kind of all had like, Band-Aids and stuff. But I mean, it was this.
She wrapped it up.
We wrapped this thing up and eventually got to our flat. I mean, we were kind of walking. She switched clothes. We walked so fast to the restaurant.
Yep.
And everybody was sitting, but they only had cocktails.
Yeah, we got there right on time.
Right on time for everything. Oh my goodness.
I will say that was like one of my favorite dinners because you had like the whole team there was such a good atmosphere, and then they had a like set menu that you could choose from, and then like the rowing team actually paid for all of it. So
for the food,
that was nice, yeah.
Not on the train. Did they pay for all the drink?
They cut the drinks off at one point.
Oh my gosh, yes, because
we got the most expensive bottle of wine.
Because we had it a couple of days earlier when we went, and so they recognized us. That was the funniest thing.
Yeah, they're like
our waiters and the manager recognized us, and they really did like us. But so they have a bottle of water that they refill for you on your table, and it says the thing of the restaurant, and I just thought it was so cool, and I was like, oh my gosh, can I buy one? Like, where can I? Well, they gave it to us.
Yeah, and they're like,
so I traveled back home with it. And so we have it now.
But then the next day we went to, that's when we went to London. Hold on.
Yeah, that's when we packed, and then we left for London after the team, actually.
Yeah, the team left.
Yeah. And then that day we actually went, where we were meeting to go do our walking tour of London and seeing the castle. I mean, we saw everything, like everything that you can think about London. I mean,
the Buckingham Palace. Actually, we did. I mean, the whole tour we did all the royal like buildings and I guess all that, like all the palaces, all that stuff, and then that was how long was that tour? Like 3 hours.
Yeah,
it was a 3 hour walking tour. It was so long, but we saw everything.
Yeah,
it was very cool.
And the horses. I mean, I just wanted to see the royal horse when.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like all that you see on social
the dumb
media
people that.
But
like, the touching, they get bit.
But what was kind of funny is that where we were meeting for the walking tour is right by. Is that the Ritz?
Yeah, it was the Ritz.
It was the Ritz,
and
it's not like any other Ritz that I've seen in my life. It's just so
old-fashioned, classy.
Yes,
they got like the bulbs around,
like the
Ritz.
top hat and the whole thing. And I just wanted to ask if there was a restaurant in there or something, just to grab a drink before the tour, because we had a little bit of time. And the gentleman was super nice, very nicely. He was not being condescending, but he was old too, and he was just like, first you need reservation to be here, but there's also a specific attire. Like we couldn't go in with what we were wearing.
And we were in our like the clothes for the tour. So we were not dressed for the Ritz.
But we had like tennies, like like white little tennis shoes.
Heels.
We're not allowed to go in with it. None of us was dressed not nice.
No, but it was not
the tennis shoes were just like, no, you can't. And I was like, it's okay. Like, and he was so sweet and he just did not want to be mean and whatever. Like,
it was so cute. See, like in his tux and then the top hat. I think it's so cool. Like, if I were to stay at a Ritz, I would sit at that one because I feel like it's such a different experience.
But they kind of all looked at us. We're like, okay, sorry. Yeah, we just wanted to know. Can we take a picture?
That was a fun tour. Our tour guide was so much fun. The time went by pretty fast because he was so entertaining, and he knew so much.
Oh, knew so much, and then he was very happy there were Canadians on the tour like us and Australians, because of the Commonwealth. So he had like a lot of jokes about that to say. So that was a lot of fun too.
And then the president of Japan, right?
The prime minister of Japan was coming the next day, the very next day.
Yeah, so they had they had lined the streets with the flags.
Those flags.
So that was awesome. We didn't go see because I feel like it would have been such backed up traffic to go.
Yeah, and then there was and I think we were missing the change of the guards by one day. That's something that apparently is extremely impressive to see.
Yeah.
But we also had a very nice dinner planned that night on a rooftop, and then we went back to our place with my mom and my youngest one, and then the three of us, Cheyenne, her, and I, went to a speakeasy, like an old-fashioned speakeasy. And we were a little bit late because something happened.
Yeah, I was scared the like shower kind of
overflowed, so we were a little bit scared.
We were scared that we like weren't going to get in, but they were able to get us in, and it was very. It's like any other speakeasy, like very like old-fashioned, but and like the mixologist and stuff like that. Yeah. But the theme was what was the theme again? Like
traveling. It was all traveling stuff, like around the world and things like that. So the whole thing, even like one part of the place was like you were in one of the train wagon, like being served.
Yeah, and like the dark velvet seats. Yeah. But yeah, it was based off of a real traveler. And I forgot his name, but
I forgot his name too. But
it was based on a real traveler.
The drinks, like Cheyenne's drink, had a big bubble that was kind of.
And there's a story behind each drink that like tied to one of his travels. Yeah. So that was really cool. But back to that restaurant that we went to, you could see like a lot of you could see Buckingham Palace from that restaurant, and that's when I had my first amaretto. And now I'm obsessed with amaretto sours. But that was a really cool restaurant and very good food. But
yes, but the next day, which I think was the hottest day of all the days, we had a tour, but we had a tea party on the bus. So it was like
that bus had no air conditioning.
No air conditioning. We were all dying hot, and they're serving us tea, and we're like, no.
Hot tea, champagne.
Can I get another champagne?
Yeah.
I mean, something cool.
Champagne, and it was kind of like the crumpets again, like the little tiny sandwiches.
The desserts were amazing and whatnot, but when they said, do you want tea? No. I felt so terrible. We're like,
can I have iced water?
I know. It was just so hot. No but ice. Then that night, that was our special night. We all had like special outfits too for this. We were at little did we know we had already been to a 5-star Michelin, but there was a very well-known 5-star Michelin.
Jay Shiki.
Jay Shiki.
Yeah.
And we were sitting outside, and it was, oh my gosh, my niece and I had this appetizer of all of the oysters on half shells that they had. It was ridiculous how many we ate.
My grandma and I had a lobster, and that was like my favorite night.
I had the lobster. Yeah, I think she had something else.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah. But that was amazing. The wine was amazing. They did the whole the wine thing where they empty it out.
Decanter, decant. Yeah. They were doing a decanter,
and I've never seen that before.
There was a sommelier, so that's what they came to do.
So that was very cool to see. But I think that was my favorite restaurant.
It was. I mean, well, I liked everything we ate.
It was beautiful.
I liked everything that we ate. But
yes, and I will say, everybody in London, everybody in Henley was so nice. Maybe not the rowers because they weren't as welcoming, but the waiters, the waitresses, everybody was just so. Maybe it's because they're not as stressed or not as hustle culture. That's they're just nicer. But everybody in London was extremely nice, extremely welcoming, best service.
We've talked about that, and we still talk about it. Yeah. Now that we go to a restaurant, we see the difference. But what was very amazing is how many times we were asked any allergies.
Oh yeah,
at our waiters. And now I notice it when somebody asks us here.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
but it's really rare.
It doesn't happen.
Everybody, and then they will come back we're sure nobody has allergies here, right? Okay, yeah, so super good. But yes, I remember we were talking about how everybody was so nice except one at the Covent Garden that we were asking, and it's the place that we asked for a sticker and a pen, whatever it was for Amelia. Something really ridiculous, and he was just here it is. He was so rude, and I was of all people. I mean, just what it was.
But other than that, no, it really amazed me, and just such good people. And you kind of see on social media hate to British, and then the British hate on the Americans, but British people are actually so sweet. They're so nice, and maybe it's just the areas that we were in, but
yeah, it could be. Henley was a little town outside, it's just. I would move there tomorrow. Nice, yes. I mean, it was so
I want to go back. I want to go see all of the UK, Edinburgh, and
I will say coming back, jet lag, whatnot. The first day we get, I mean, the second day was fine. When we woke up the next morning, we were fine. 2 days after that was rough. That's when we were just oh my gosh,
so hard. I was sleeping all day. And I was the post Europe depression. I wanted to go back.
Oh yeah, I just
drinking my tea, pretending I was there.
And then you're oh my gosh, I have to make my own food now. And all this. It's just,
we can go back.
Hopefully we can go back.
We'll do a podcast episode when we're there.
From there. But that would be amazing.
You guys are going to have to wait for that one because we don't have that. But
it might take a little bit.
Yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed our little story time today. That's such a fun story to tell every time. I love talking about it. It was the best week of my life for sure.
It was something else from just seeing the race, to know about the race, to be there to see the race,
seeing the girls.
Shout out to those rowers. I'm sorry, but you guys are freaking amazing athletes. It's just you girls rock. I mean, boys too, but these were girls. You guys are amazing.
And then just being able to travel like that was. I'm very appreciative and thankful that I was able to even go on that trip.
Thank you, Cheyenne, thank you for helping for all this. This was unbelievable.
Yeah,
forever grateful. But before we're done, our would you rather?
We do a would you rather every
time. So would you rather, now that we're talking about this trip, be able to travel back in the future, back into the past, or would you rather go in the future?
I feel like this is an easy one for me. Okay. But it would be the past, because I'd want to meet all those, historic people. And then also the 1920s seems so fun, the Roaring 20s. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want to go back to the Great Depression, but I'd go back to the Roaring 20s and be a flapper, because I think that'd be so cool. I don't know. Going into the future, I feel like it's just going to be the stereotypical AI modern. I want to go back to the cool, classy, old-fashioned architecture and see that. And when there's no phones and people actually lived in the moment.
With each other.
I think that would be fun.
That'd be fun.
Let me know what you guys think. And so I hope you guys enjoyed our story time. Let us know if you guys want to do more of these styled episodes.
Well, I hope you guys have a good week, and we'll see you
next week.
Yep.
Love you guys.
Love you.